الرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد حبيب إله العالمين أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين وعلى صحبه الأخيار المنتجبين. My peace is for Palestine. But I would be remiss were I not to mention this land which has suffered oppression, the land which my feet leave prints, leaves on me its impression. So at this point during our session where we are happy to stand, stretch out your wrist. I ask you as a practical man to raise your fist under skies of unceded Gadigal land. Keep them up. Keep them up. Let them see you and let the world see you. I begin by acknowledging happily the true and traditional custodians of the ground that carries me, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. I pay respect to their elders, past and present, and honour their station. I extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders gathered with us today as I humbly extend a brotherly hand. Sovereignty never ceded, was, is, and always will be Aboriginal land. Family, I greet you with our historic greeting, Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Peace. Peace. A scarce commodity, you see. Some would say peace is but a dream, but I lean towards Malcolm X when violence is all you see. Resistance is the key, but to my sisters and brothers in Palestine, I do not fight for you. For it is you who fights for me. It is you who stands up and refuses to flee. It is you who calls while rockets fall and the horrors besiege. And when the smoke starts to recede, it is you standing tall amongst the debris. It is you who has planted the seed, and I only feed off the fruit of your magnificent tree. I consume it with glee and become your trustee. So I called out words that are not a bargain or plea. For through your strength and patience, I clearly foresee from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. And if I may touch upon the history, though it was in a colonized state, Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived without hate. They lived without hate. They hunted together and ate off the same plate. And this was told to me by my Jewish brothers in the Guardians of the Gate. Enter Zionism. Enter Zionism. A hostile takeover. This was no peaceful merger. And all they had to do was cry terrorist and they get away with murder. But today, in the thousands, in the millions of those who support the Palestinians have shed a light on the shadow you have cast. And what we found is your terrorism began long before Hamas. Long before Hezbollah. Long before PLO. How deep does your rabbit hole go? Follow the blood flow of history back to names like Irgun, Stern Gang, and Haganah. Massacre after massacre. But what's even more evil and sinister is that each of these terrorist organizations produced a future Israeli Prime Minister. Who further destroyed Palestinian lives. Our elders tell stories how they cut the babies out of pregnant Palestinian wives. How many times have generations watched as they bulldozed homes and replaced them with their own houses and villas, and then they add insult to injury by naming their streets after killers? The reality is harsher. The reality is harsher. The world watched as they gathered with music and laughter, exposing themselves for the hatred and enmity they harbor as their planes rain down bombs on the city of Gaza. Do you stand with these people, or do you stand with the martyr? They are not one and the same. Human shields, they say, while they drop white phosphorus from a plane. With no shame, the narrative is twisted to give the victim the blame. Let's play a game. What am I? I am found in the abyss of pain. And I live in days that will make you cry. They killed me in Palestine, but I forgot to die, and now the whole world will hear my cry. Forever, face to face with the beast, I am in every father running through the streets, carrying an injured son. When a crime is done and no one believes, I am still in the heart of a mother who grieves, even as her children fall to the ground like autumn leaves. I am seldom open and fair. I have been cloaked in total despair, broken and bare till I'm nothing to you but dreams. I was right there in Huda Ghalia's screams. I was right there in Huda Ghalia's screams that started on a beach and crossed many seas. My power to reach is like those disciples who traveled to teach. And from all the world's nations, I have gathered the flock. We will never stop, for I am hope. I am hope that shines like the sun's reflection off the dome of the rock. And I know what you think. I know what you think. How can there be hope when the darkness is closest? When you lose all you love and all seems hopeless? We simply say to all supporters and opposers that we are the people of Muhammad, Jesus and Moses. And our poetry of hope is written from the blood in the ink pot. A hope that inspires you to stand up to tanks with a slingshot. The truth becomes clear. Two fingers in the air are not a sign for peace. It's the lines in the flag that once lined the streets. Palestine, I repeat, Palestine, not peace. Peace is unknown, you never feel it. How can there be peace when a stranger can just walk inside your home and steal it? Out in the open, with nowhere to hide from the havoc and systematic genocide, constantly being tested, but we invested in our freedom so we can never be bested. Why do you think our people smile when they're being arrested? For every single violent and merciless attack by the mercy of God reverses right back, and the masses that you consider worthless fight back. Desecrate our mosques and our churches, you have done nothing but give us more purpose. For every school, for every hospital, you have done nothing but show us all that victory is possible. You boast your power in this sadistic way, you have done nothing but put your desperation on display. For every time a child, peaceful protester, first responder, or a journalist falls, you have done nothing but further this cause. So go ahead, take our lives, take our homes and blow them apart, for Palestine will always be home in the heart. Today, our protests are counted by the kilometers in all nations, despite the opinions of their leaders. The revolution is worldwide, televised, refusing to be compromised, no longer falling for your lies. And despite your attempts to divide, every Muslim, Masihi, every Sunni, every Shi'i stands against you freely. hear me? Even people who don't speak the language are singing. على أرض تلاقيني أنا دمي فلسطيني 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 أنا دمي فلسطيني. Even people who don't speak the language are singing أنا دمي فلسطيني. Oh Palestine, you are the pride. Stand firm with your head held high. For no matter what they do, we are all with you, and Palestine will never die.